On this episode of the Grandstand Boys, we review the Daytona 500 and Speed Weeks as a whole. Was it good? Was it as bad as Brad Keselowski's pushing? We don't know. We'll get to that and more on this episode of the review of the Daytona 500. What's going on, everybody in the grandstands? This is your boy Brad coming back to you with another episode of the Grandstand Boys, the review of the Daytona 500. I have a special guest with me today. It's my boy from Sumter, South Carolina, Sumter, CP. What's going on, CP?
What's up, my man? Ain't
So,
nothing much.
We just got done back from the bar watching the Daytona 500. What was your first thought when the race was over?
My first thought was Cindric won, and that was good. I was glad to see him win. Other than that, I mean, I thought it was a good race. I thought it was a pretty good race, and it was really exciting at the end. I mean, as always.
Yeah, you'll get that on the plate races. I agree, it was a good race. I mean, I'm not exactly an Austin Cindric fan. It was kind of like a blah win for me. But yeah, I can. It was a good race. It was entertaining. It gave you everything you wanted. The end of the stages were exciting. Pushing maybe a little too early, maybe in the wrong places. I feel like the next gen car, I think it performed okay. I think there's going to be a problem with the flat tires if you get I noticed if you got two flat tires, your car's pretty much stuck.
Yep.
So that's going to really either, if you reckon you don't hit anything but you flatten both tires, you get stuck up on the asphalt or the grass, whatever, you're going to have to get a push, probably have a better chance of losing more laps. But yeah, I thought it was an entertaining race. I hate to see obviously you're going to get wrecks and a lot of good guys are going to get out. It was an exciting end. Like I said before on the last episode, bet the house on a Ford to win. Maybe not that Ford, but a Ford won. So I got that right. But yeah, Austin Cindric, rookie driver, first rookie to win since Trevor Bayne, and I think 2011, was the year. Wood Brothers number 21. Speaking of Wood Brothers, first time we seen a car upside down. What'd you think about that wreck?
Oh man, I was happy he was okay, but man, that's bound to happen on them super speedways. I mean, we seen it at Talladega, we seen it at Daytona. So just good he got out safely and didn't have to go to the hospital. Well, he probably did go to the hospital, but
just to say, just got to check
up safety. Yeah, but he got out on his own, walked away. So, but it was an interesting wreck, which is, I guess that's the first one for the new cars. So, but did they create these new cars to try to prevent that, or it's just going to happen at that high speed?
I mean, I think they were probably a little shocked that it flipped over that easily.
Yeah.
I know that, the safety thing was obviously they have the roof flaps and the hood flaps and all the other shit on the car that pops up like a daggum, looks like a helicopter kind of thing with all the blades and shit that pops up on it. They probably thought it wasn't going to flip that easy. But, if you're doing 190 miles an hour and you turn that bitch around backwards and the wind, the spoiler gets up in the wind, it's going to have a negative effect on it and turn it. But obviously there were also a lot of questions on the safety of the car, because I know back when they first started and they had all those test wrecks with the dummies in it, they were afraid that it was going to be, too stiff and dangerous if they got hit in high speeds. But I think it passed the test with that pretty well. I also think it passed the test in the dual races with Joey Logano, and he got turned too.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I was Harrison Burton, I'd be pretty damn pissed at you, boy Brad Keselowski, for pushing me in the middle of a turn. I mean, he's got the rookie stripe. I know he's a good driver. Obviously, he's a talented driver, and I'm not saying it's because he's a rookie because he's wrecked. But I mean, I don't think Brad was maybe a little too aggressive right there. especially for a veteran driver that's supposed to be a super speedway specialist, is what you would say. I mean, I don't know, but if I was Harrison Burton, I would have been pretty pissed off.
Yeah, I don't think he done it on purpose. That's obvious, but yeah, he got a little aggressive right there when he was trying to make a move, and he caught the man the wrong side and turned him. And I'd probably be a little mad, yeah, because he had a good car. So I mean, so did Keselowski. He had a good car too, but I would be pretty mad. It's just little. It was just a little too much right there. Like they still had a little bit of race to go before he could have made a move like that. Like now, if it had been 2 or 3 laps to go, hey, you got to do what you got to do to win. But I think he did a little too early.
Yeah, I agree. Here's the we'll just go ahead and go through the top 10 results from Daytona 500. Austin Cindric in the number 2 tire discounter Ford rookie. Second place, Bubba Wallace, his second runner up finish in the Daytona 500. 2 years ago, did it with Richard Petty. Third, Chase Briscoe. That's a shocker considering he came back from a wreck in the first of the race. Ryan Blaney fourth, Eric Almirola fifth, Kyle Busch, another pretty good a good turnaround for him being caught up in a wreck or two. Sixth, Michael McDowell, another good good showing from the Speedway Motor or from Front Row Motorsports. They finished 7th and 8th. David Reagan coming out of the daggum, coming off the front porch, sitting in the rocking chair, said, "Yeah, I'll enter Daytona 500." He finishes 8th. Brad Kay, probably the most dominant car all day, finishes 9th. I guess he got in the wrong line at the wrong time, kind of thing. And then your boy Chase Elliott finishes 10th after his he had quite the race, had some suspension issues, had to get that fixed. That's the highest finishing Chevrolet. But other than that, that's your top 10 for the Daytona 500. Probably nothing too shockingly. And all those guys that are up there are pretty good super speedway racers.
The Chevys, man, they just they had problems all day. Stalling out was one.
I think that's driver issue, not car issue.
Yeah.
I noticed.
You normally don't see that from them drivers, though.
Yeah, they're still getting used to that sequential gearbox stuff. I mean, I think a lot of it was just like bad timing kind of thing. Like, when you think you met the love of your life and then the timing's just right, she walks off and you never see her again kind of shit. That's kind of like, Alex Bowman, bad spot.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson. I mean, that's obviously the nature of the beast with him. He probably could have slowed down, but it's hard to see that. He couldn't read that shit from that far back going 190. So he ran in the back of Kevin Harvick, ruined his day. Who else? Let's see here. 8 car. Mine just went blank. Tyler Reddick. He just got a little loose in front of Jacques Villeneuve from Formula E.
Yeah, John Gerard.
Ricky Booby. But I mean, it was action packed. It had a lot of strategy. There wasn't a lot of there was obviously some downtime. There's going to be some downtime in the plate racing, but I enjoyed it. I mean, it was a very exciting green white checker. Also thinks like no motherfucker, you're not getting past me. I'm going to run whatever it takes. Like, no, you ain't getting past me. I'm winning this thing.
He sure did with Blaney, and he pushed Blaney in the wall. He's like, no, he's like, this is mine.
Teammates, who gives a damn? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who gives a damn? Good for Austin Cindric. A couple other things we can talk about. The beef. It's what's for dinner 300. Austin Hill. Another rookie moving up from the truck series, driving the number 21 car for Richard Childress Racing, wins with Mr. All My Dinger finishing 2nd. That was a pretty interesting race.
Yeah.
Noah Gragson. I mean, we were watching it. There was not a. There's nothing that really sticks out with me that says that was great or not great kind of thing. I know that they were. Well, that's the truck race I was thinking about. But yeah, it's it was an okay race. Truck race 2, we watched it as well. Zane Smith wins. I tell you what, they were quick on the trigger when they were doing the the caution flag at that truck
Yeah,
race that happened. Was that the truck race? I think right at the start finish line, or was
yeah.
that the Busch race or Xfinity race? Excuse me, I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know.
The
I
beer's got in the way, kids. The beer's got in the ways. I don't
yeah,
remember either. But all in all, I think the speed weeks as a whole, I think it was good for NASCAR. Getting that shine on. They've had down years the past couple years, but it was packed. You could tell it was packed. It was pretty crowded at the truck race. It was pretty crowded at the Xfinity race, and it was a sellout today. I think all in all, NASCAR should be pretty happy with the product they put on track. What do you think?
yes, I think so too. Yeah, they sure. I mean, I think the Xfinity race, I think it was pretty interesting too. To be honest, I mean, they didn't wreck as much as they normally do. So, but uh, but they had a little exciting finish at the end, and in the truck race, it just truck race. It's the truck race. They wreck a lot. So
They didn't
so
wreck as much as I thought they would.
no, they didn't. They sure didn't.
I
Yeah,
mean, I remember the
like
rest.
all in all, like for Daytona, they didn't wreck as much as through all three series. They didn't wreck as much as we thought they would because those it don't take much at 190 miles an hour to
No,
to
I
spin
don't.
out. Like
I did also notice. I mean, I still think the Cup cars are faster, but the
yes,
the Xfinity cars are pretty damn close. So they're probably just
yeah,
as hard or just as challenging to drive. I
yeah,
mean, obviously, in the good old days, the Cup car used to go. It's like a 10 mile an hour.
yeah. I
Difference
mean, it
between
was
going from trucks to Xfinity Cup. It was.
it was there was only about 4 or 5 miles difference in the top Xfinity
Yeah,
car versus
yeah,
the top. It was I think I seen speeds 193
yeah.
from
The Cups
for
are
the
going
big
about
boys.
198 or 195. I mean,
Yeah, it's what 193 to 195, and then the cup. You talking about the cup cars?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Cup.
yeah. Now 193 to 195, and the Xfinity was around about 186 to 189. That was about the highest you seen in between there. So yeah, they were still. It ain't much gap now. I mean, it's 6 miles an hour maybe at the most. So
Yeah, I mean, and it was. Like I said, I think all in all, NASCAR should be happy with the product they put on for the whole weekend. This is their Super Bowl. They said it forever. And if you're a NASCAR fan, yeah, that's the cliche they use is, oh, it's, that's Super Bowl first race of the year. But I mean, it's the weekend as a whole is their time to shine. And it's like the cornerstone of what can set up a good building block for the season. If
yeah,
it's a terrible race or a shitty weekend or it rains, that always
yeah,
puts the damper and kind of slows it down, slows the momentum down. But today was I would consider it a very good race.
yes,
I mean,
yeah,
I would say great race.
yeah.
They were all pretty good.
They
Truck race
were.
was kind of got a little out of hand towards the end, but what do you expect?
Yeah, yeah. It's always like that, really, a truck race. So, but
Um,
yeah, they had good weather, that's for sure. And I'm just glad they raced. And it was,
yeah, I know, right? I'm getting sick and tired of
I
them
mean,
motherfuckers being on Monday when I'm at work,
yeah,
watching on
yeah,
the phone, and the boss gets you, kind of trying to hide at your desk, make sure they
yeah.
don't see you looking at your phone watching the race. I
That's right.
did notice something today that might cause an issue in the future, and I think it's funny as hell. It's just them tires popping off. They
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
they don't tie
yeah.
the nut. They do.
Who was that? That was Grala,
There was a
Grala,
couple of them, but the one that I really
the
remember,
Pit
I think it
Viper,
was yeah,
the
I
Pit
think the
Viper.
first one was Kevin or Kyle, like
Was it Kaz
Kaz, isn't that
Grala?
Kaz? Yeah, I mean Kevin
Yeah,
Kyle, what the
yeah,
hell ever, right?
yeah.
But it's still the same rules. So I saw on Twitter, I can't remember who tweeted. It might have been Bob Pockris was saying that the rule still is in place that if you lose a tire during the race, your crew chief is suspended for 4 races and a monetary fine of some sort. So
Mhm.
I don't know if that means 4 races that they're trying to enter because I think they're only trying to enter 2. So that motherfucker will be on suspension until next year if that's
Yeah.
the case. But I think it's just funny as shit. Be dry. Pull,
Oh,
pull it look like a Rick Ware car out there. I remember, last year I think it was Quinn
well,
Huff and the numbers 00 at Talladega. I think it might have been under the damn warm-up laps, I can't remember, they didn't have the nuts all the way tight on the front right tire, and that bitch just came right off, and he went right up into the wall before the race even started.
Old Pitbull, he's having him a time, man. He got one race under his belt, and now
What you talking about,
he's
Pitbull? You mean,
that's the owner.
no, that ain't the owner, that's
That's the
daggum,
owner. Who's
Floyd
that?
Mayweather. Pitbull owns
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's
Suarez
right.
and,
That's right.
Ross
That's
Crotch
right.
Staines, what we like
For
to call
some
him,
reason,
that's
I
his
thought it
nickname
was
around here.
Pitbull. That's Floyd Mayweather. Well, he
Nah.
got one race in, and now he's got to go through the suspension.
Yeah,
So
he didn't even he can't read, so he didn't even know how many laps are left. He couldn't tell. Maybe that's that's a little that's funny. But no, it's good. It's good to see people like him bringing, new, fresh ideas and money into the sport, new teams. So around here we rate races on how many beers, up to 24 beers being the best. So from a scale of 0 beers to 24 beers, what would you give the Daytona 500?
I give it a good 18 pack.
18 beers. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll say it's pretty good. I mean, you can't. I mean, I don't really see how it can get much better than.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
you
other
don't
than
want to give a perfect score either. I agree. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it could. There's places where they can. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's just it
18,
could have been
18 beers
better.
is a good night. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? At the
yeah.
end of the,
It's a good night. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it was exciting. I mean, we got excited. I mean, when we was watching it. So
yeah, but we're
especially
pretty hardcore. I'm trying. You also
we
got
are.
to come as from a casual fan standpoint
Yeah.
kind of thing.
The casual fan, I would say it probably
I mean, I think it was good for them. They get to see, like I said, if a car goes upside down and you don't know
yeah,
dick about NASCAR, you're excited.
that's
You
right.
know what I mean? I don't like to see a car upside down. Obviously, being a
No,
fan and like understanding like that's super dangerous. But
to be
as a
honest,
casual,
it could have been a lot worse. I mean, he didn't really go that high. I mean,
no,
we've
she
seen
sat
it.
down pretty quick.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot worse. I mean, obviously with
Well,
Ryan Newman.
the truck race, Sunday.
Yeah,
I mean, Friday. That one feller, I don't know who it was, got up in the fence in the dam. Oh no,
yeah.
that was
No, that's
the
Xfinity.
that's right, Mike
The
Snyder.
Xfinity.
That's who it was.
Yeah,
That
he
son of a
tore
bitch
his
lost his
car,
in
his
half.
motor, his motor.
In half.
Yeah, he got in the wall pretty good, and I mean, as far as man is, if he can walk away from something like that, there wasn't nothing left of his car. I mean, just where he was sitting at, it was just a frame, a little bit of the frame in the front, and some in the back, and where he
Yep.
sat. And if he can walk away from that, then
Axle's gone.
yeah,
Everything. Got motor
yeah.
gone.
I
I mean, I
mean,
think
he
it does prove that NASCAR, all in all, is probably the safest racing series motorsports in the world, if you think about it.
yeah,
When it comes to safety, there's probably nothing safer that is
yeah.
top level, high speed racing that is safer than NASCAR. So that's good.
No.
I'm trying to think, how many beers would I give it? I ain't going. Like I said, there's no way. I mean, I don't think there's any way you give a perfect case
No,
of beers.
no. It had to been a lot more, like
Hmm.
for us to
Yeah,
be perfect. It
I'd
like
give it. I'd give it for the 500. I'd give it 15 beers,
15.
and for the whole race weekend, I'd give it 20. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah,
think all in all, it was a great weekend for
yeah,
the sport of NASCAR as a whole. A lot of eyeballs watching this week, and they couldn't have done much better.
yeah.
All in all. Last topic before we wrap it up. Next week, we're going back to Fontana, going on the West Coast swing, California love, Tupac and all
Yeah,
that jazz.
yeah.
Give me your thoughts of what the race is going to be, and give me your top 5, because it's like a Michigan clone
Oh,
track, sort of
yeah.
2 mile.
Well,
So give me your top 5 on who you think it's going to be.
it's a Michigan, so that'd be what, a mile
No, it's 2
and
miles. 2
2
miles.
miles, 2 miles, 2
Yep.
miles. So, oh man, kind of a mini super speedway. So it's my thoughts on it. Is that what you're
Like
asking about?
I think it's going to be really us for the first time seeing the new car really in action. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
this is going to be the first chance we get to like the Daytona 500. Obviously, you want them to run good and be safe and all that jazz,
yeah,
but you're really not worried about it getting too loose or too tight or
yeah,
tire wear or fuel mileage racing too much. You're really
yeah,
going to get to see that this week. Is how will the new car perform in traffic? Will they be able to pass each other?
yeah. Because pretty much this weekend was a just a test on what it's going to be for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
So
I
it was
agree.
the first. It was the first time that they were racing with. I mean, the adrenaline was running, and this is the race. It wasn't no practice
We talk
or
about
dual.
practice.
Talk about practice. This wasn't no duel or nothing like that. I mean, they were racing for the Daytona 500, so it was. I mean, it was the race. So if I had to get
Just give me your top five. Who do you think is going to
my
win?
top five,
I think
I
Chevrolets will do better this week.
I think they will be. I think they will too. If they can find what Fords, if they can find out what Ford's putting in
Yeah,
them, but
yeah, we know what Ford found that nose a little better than everybody else's
yeah,
nose.
yeah, if they can. But I mean, I my top five, I would have to say, uh, it's it would be hard to bet against Larson.
Mm,
It
hmm
would be hard. It would hard to be to bet against him because, I
That's like
mean,
right in his wheelhouse too.
yes, yes, yes. Anything a mile and a half to 2 miles, he's been pretty
Throw that
dominant
some
on.
bitch in the high line and just let her eat, kind of
Let's
thing.
let Yep. So I would probably go with him one.
Okay,
Two would be I would probably look out for Brad again.
you think so? I don't think
I,
so, but go ahead.
I
All
think
right,
so. I think
all right.
so. And then three, I would have to choose. Um, you always got to look out for Logano.
Mm.
I
As bad
mean,
as you hate to say it,
yeah, as
as
bad as
bad
I
as
hate
you
to say
hate
it,
to say it,
you have to look out for Logano because no matter what,
that some
he's
bitch gonna be up there.
yeah, he seems to always be up there no matter what. I mean, he was even up there today. I mean, for the
Backup
500.
car, backup. Well, yeah, he's. I
Yeah,
mean, he's good.
with a backup car. I mean, he was there. He was up there pretty much the whole race. It's
Hmm
just, but he got caught between a rock and a hard place, just like a lot of other people. But so my number four would be, I don't know. I want to say Harvick, man, because Harvick, it's about time for him.
Yeah, man, he's just been. I don't know if has
Yeah,
he. I mean, has he lost it?
I don't know, man. It's about time for him. You go 9 wins one season, and then you turn around and just blank. Like it's just, I
Mm.
mean, good drivers don't do that. I
Well, he's a
mean,
good driver. Bottom line. I
I
mean,
mean, yeah,
there's no doubt about that.
it's just like what's going on with him? Like, but I'll say Harvick, and then fifth, I would have to go. Who's another 2 mile guy? Is I guess I mean it was hard to it would be hard not to choose uh, Truex.
Mm.
I think Truex did really well. I mean,
All things considered,
all things considered, he won the first two stages. So I mean, and he
uh,
got caught in a bad place as well. I mean, just
can't get
so
caught.
yeah, you can't get caught. Yeah,
Can't get caught.
you either got to do like Big Bad Brad, just hey, bump them out the
Get the
way,
hell out the way. I'm just going to push him around.
yeah, just push them right by, and you speed right past them and not get hit, or you just can't be caught lacking. You got to be quicker than that. So that would be my top five. I'll look this next weekend.
All right. So, I mean, I'm going to try to stay away from what you said. So, my top five,
Mm-hmm.
I think, I think Chevrolet is going to win. I think I'm obviously partial to Hendricks, but I'm probably going to say Hendricks Chevrolet is going to win. I think it's going to be Bowman.
Oh, okay.
Bowman's going to win. He's going to make
Yeah.
a comeback. He does really well on those size tracks.
Yeah.
So I got Bowman 1. I've got Kyle Busch 2.
Okay.
I've got Larson 3.
Okay.
Blaney 4.
Yeah, I forgot about Blaney.
And I mean, this some bitch I'm about to say fifth. He might win, but he just seems to either have bad luck or pushes it too hard. Reddick 5.
Ready.
I mean, I think so. The one of the reasons I didn't pick Bad Brad is next week is you're really going to find out where Roush has struggled in the past couple of years because they have stunk the past couple of years. I mean, they can't do nothing. They do pretty good at super speedway, but I mean, you put anybody in a cup car that's a pretty good race car driver, they're going to be doing okay at a cup rate at a super speedway.
Yeah.
But that's what I think. I think I'm worried that it's going to be a little boring of a race. So that kind of track right there doesn't provide a lot of excitement when it comes to, once again, when you're thinking of either a casual fan or a newer fan, as bad as you hate to say it, you want to see wrecks.
I don't think we might see one.
It's going to be, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it's going to be a fuel mileage race. And it's going, I mean, the stages have kind of broken that up where it doesn't make it as prominent to where you can short pit or long pit or ride it out kind of thing as much as it used to. I mean, they still have it from time to time, but not as much as they used to. I think it will be a fuel mileage race, and I think it's going to be a real stinker of a race. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of those kind of tracks.
Yeah. I mean, I see one wreck happening, but maybe more. So that means there's only going to be the stage wins, and that's the only time the race is going to stop.
Yeah, and I don't count that as obviously it's a caution flag, but it's NASCAR's way of trying to insert their own excitement into the race when it's not needed.
Man, I can't wait till we start getting to the competing races.
Mm-hmm.
But one man
road courses is as bad as I hate to say it because I can't stand a fucking road course.
One man wrecks some man. Next week what you're gonna see. I mean, that's
they're gonna see the bumper. They're gonna see these hands kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Throwing some hands in the pits. I'm ready to see some of that again.
And that's notorious on small tracks because you can't you're gonna have that. But
I agree.
But yeah, I mean I hope it's a good race. I mean, for the sport's sake. I mean, I hope we're wrong, really.
I hope we're wrong. I agree.
I mean, I hope we're wrong. And I hope it's a good race. And I hope, if somebody happens to wreck, I hope
it's Joey Logano or Denny.
Yeah. I mean, hey, there might be some retaliation.
No, I ain't gonna be no retaliation. Not for the 500. No.
You don't think you don't Big Bad Brad might get a little bumper?
No, that some bitch is gonna be running 23rd all day. It don't matter.
Yeah. But I thought we're wrong though. I really do because I hope it's a good race because you always like to see a good race.
Oh, I agree. So, well, I ain't got nothing else. You got anything else?
Not really.
All right. Well, this is the recap show of the Daytona 500 of the Grandstand Boys. We will be back next week. Cory P might not be back, but we might get him on the line in South Carolina. We don't know. Get him on his cell phone. We can do that maybe. But we'll be back next week with a recap of the race from Fontana. I have no idea what it's called. I know it's going to be in California on the left coast, and I know it's going to probably be a stinker. But thanks for watching. Remember, we're on all the social medias except for the Facebook. We're on Instagram, Twitter. You can like, subscribe. We got on YouTube. We'll be dropping this soon. So go out there, give us a watch, give us a like. We appreciate it. Thanks. We'll be back next week. We out.
Later.